Welcome back to the show. This is KDS Reviews. This is a review of episode 7 of Alien Earth called Emergence. This is quite a different episode, so let's get into it. We've got an overall review of this particular episode. Now, it starts off with this very spooky beginning. Remember how it ended last week with the alien on Arthur's face and slightly finding the body? Well, somebody takes him and stuffs him under his bed. I could tell they didn't know. They don't know what they're getting into, with the face hugger still attached to his face, and he needs help to get the body out from under them. He gets another one of the androids or quote lost boys to help him move get Arthur out of there, even though the face hugger is still on his face. Now back at the lab, the xenomorphs, they got out because of that sheep. They're all over the place. I mean, the flies are flying everywhere. There's a full-grown alien inside of a cage, you know. And Kirsch knows about this. He saw it at the end of the last episode. So he gets there and he sees what's going on. And then we find out. Wendy shows up. And we find out she can communicate with the alien. Now, if you saw last week's episode of KDS Reviews covering Alien Earth, this is exactly what I predicted. I'm going to talk about that at the end of the episode, too. Wendy sees what's going on, and she wants to get off the island now. She sees the corruption that's going on, how they're corrupting the creatures. And the alien, she gets out. She leaves. She just says, I'm leaving. They try to stop her, but the tracker has been taken off. Now, she goes into another room, and somehow, some way, mind power or something, she gets the cages open, and the aliens get out, okay? And they start ripping everything and everybody who's in that room with them. I mean, they're tearing them to pieces. Like I said, this is a very brutal show. Now, slightly in one of the other androids here, they're dragging his body around the base, back and forth from here, almost getting caught. They come up on Kirsch. Now, I thought Kirsch was going to sell him out to Cavalard. But no, he tells them another way of getting out. He says they're going in the wrong way. It's going to come back. You're going to see. Now, they're dragging the body through. They get out of the base. They're still on the island. And then Arthur wakes up. He doesn't remember what happened because the face hugger is no longer on his face now. And he keeps saying, whatever you did, we're going to talk it through. I can help you out. Now, like I said, we find out that Wendy can control the aliens, and they're doing whatever she wants them to do. She's out in the woods too, her and her brother. Okay, they come upon another search team that's looking for them. Now she's able to communicate with the alien. The alien comes out of the bushes. Tear these people apart. And then the alien stops and starts coming toward Wendy, and like a puppy dog. Her brothers get scared and everything. And, oh, no, the alien comes down and she starts rubbing his head. We're going to talk about that, like I said, at the end. Now, back slightly in Arthur. Like I said, Arthur had woken up. And he's trying to convince Slightly and the other android to go on back. We're gonna go back. We're gonna fix what's going on. And then, just like I thought, he starts coughing. I said I knew that was coming anyway, because the alien, had wrapped itself around him, is dead. Starts coughing, and the alien busts out of his chest and takes off in the woods. Now, Slightly is terrified because he knows Morrow can do something to his mother if he doesn't bring the xenomorph back with him. But he keeps dragging the body through the woods, which is crazy. He comes upon Morrow, okay? And Morrow asks him why is he dragging around a dead body. He said, I did everything you wanted me to. He said, but I wanted the alien. Never mind. He says, come with me. Come to this little hut. And lo and behold, Kirsch is there. That's why he told them where to go. He knew where they were going. That was a setup. I kind of figured that in the first place. And they take control of the alien. They have the alien that bust out of Arthur's chest. And they take them, Morrow and his team, with them. And he had Slightly come following him. Now, Wendy and her brother, they're trying to get off the island. They get to the pier, they get to a boat, and they're surprised. Lo and behold, there's Cavallar's men there waiting on them. Get into this vicious fight and everything. And her brother shoots the other android that's with her. And she's like, well, why did you do that? Why did you do that? They got the whole Cavallar's men all on them. And you can see in the woods that the alien sees what's going on. The full-grown xenomorph aliens that escaped from the lab. He sees what's going on. He goes in the back. He goes slightly. He just draws back into the bushes. Now, I kind of ran through this episode because there was a lot, that I hit the highlights. Now, I'm going to get to the overall thing. I don't know, how I like this as far as she's able to communicate and control the aliens like some attack dog. That takes the fear factor out of the aliens to me. Now she could just sick on them. She could just sick them on people, like a dog or something. And, the whole thing about the alien was the fact that the alien didn't care who you were, what you did, level, rank, doesn't matter. It just tear you to pieces, tongue come out, acid, everything. I don't know how I feel about this business of her being able to control, and even Kavanaugh was able to communicate with them. I guess they're showing that they're intelligent creatures. They're just not some wild beast. But that was the scare part of Alien. You couldn't control them. They were just they was an alien creature that would just wipe you out and kill them. Now, I believe there's only 9 episodes, so we only have 2 episodes left. Now, this show is supposed to take place but just before the first movie, Alien, so I'm trying to see what's going to go on. They still got these aliens. How they're going to wipe them out, because they're going to send the Nostramos in the first Alien movie to go get the alien again, So I'm wondering how this is going to go. I'm going to stick with it now, but I was a little bit disappointed in this episode. This is KDS Reviews. Remember, KDS Reviews is seen every Wednesday and every Sunday. And throughout the week, we make commentary about the state of Hollywood and movie making. If you like this type of content, then like, subscribe, and share. What did you think of that Alien Earth Emergence? Make some comments down below. How do you like it? What do you think about Marcy being able to control the aliens and speaking sick them on people? What do you think about that? Put something down here in the comments and tell me what you think about it. This is KDS Reviews, and I will see you in the next video.